everyone, I'm Kitty and welcome back to my channel. I've been thinking maybe my channel should have a cute name. It's just called Kitty the Illustrator right now because that's my username everywhere, but I can keep that but also have a cute name for my channel. I haven't really figured it out yet. If you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them in the comments. My go-to is usually like Kitty's Cat Box, because, you know, it's full of my crap. But, I don't know if I want to use that this time. It doesn't really have the professional quip while also being cute that I'm looking for. So anyway, I digress. In today's video, I'll be introducing some of my OCs, that's original characters, that I'm featuring in this year's Art Fight. First of all, what is Art Fight? Art Fight is an annual art game that takes place the full month of July on artfight.net. During the game, everyone registered is split into two teams randomly and attacks the other team members by drawing their original characters. This gains points for the attacker's team. When you are attacked, you can also revenge or counterattack by drawing the attacker's OCs in response. And attacking people of the same team is also acceptable. This is called friendly fire and yields 20% of the points that an attack from the opposing team would yield. At the end of the month, points are counted up, and the winning team is the one, of course, with the most points. This year's teams, I don't think have been announced yet, but they should be soon. We can join them starting in July. I know they've already been voted on, and I've missed that chance to vote. You might also be wondering, why are you getting ready so early? A lot of people start getting ready in May and June, so they're fully prepared in July. A lot of artists might even start drawing in June, but you don't want to start too early because some people don't delete characters that they're not looking to feature any longer until right before it begins. So generally, it's recommended not to start until at most 2 weeks prior to the event. This is my first year taking part in Art Fight. I did register back in 2017, but I didn't actually take part. I don't know if I was just too busy or what really happened, but when I logged in after all these years, I actually found someone had attacked me during that year, and I felt pretty bad for not revenging, since I didn't take part. Though revengings are not specifically required, you might say it's common courtesy, but of course, some people get too many attacks to revenge everyone. Regardless, my goal this year is to revenge everyone who does attack me, but we'll also see how it goes with my schedule and availability during Art Fight, but that is my goal. Alright, so getting on to the OCs that I featured this year. I'll be showing off all of their art, both drawn by myself and commissioned, and if I have a process video of me drawing them, I will also include that. However, there are a couple of traditional pieces, as well as pieces I created before moving from Photoshop to Procreate, and I don't have videos for those. So let's get started off with my fandom OCs that I featured. First up is Dolly. Short for Dahlia, Dolly is my Pokemon OC, specifically for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Her main turnaround drawing here was drawn by Little Round Pumpkin on Twitter. If you like this art, definitely go check them out. They have a great sense of Pokemon art style, which is why I commissioned them. I really wanted something in the style of Pokemon featured as her main turnaround, and I also just did not have time to draw turnarounds back when I did commission this. I was pretty busy when I first designed her. This is my original sketch of Dolly. I drew her when I was working a desk job, which is why she's just on the back of some random paper. And it's not a great picture either, but I still think she's super cute. Next to her is her partner Pokemon Poppy, the Tinkaton. In this last artwork, it is by Nekochea, and it's a commission of her with Rika, an Elite Four member from Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Dolly was originally created as a self-insert character to be shipped with Rika. I don't believe you're allowed to draw OCX canon as attacks for Art Fight, but she can absolutely be drawn on her own, as well as with other Pokemon OCs or even with other Rika fanship characters. Dolly is a fairy type specialist who expertises in coaching aspiring gym leaders and Elite Four members. She does also help Poppy of the Elite Four in order to strengthen and utilize her Tinkaton's abilities. When she's training with Poppy of the Elite Four, Dolly specifically calls her Pokemon Tinkaton Princess Poppy so that they aren't confused with each other. This is based off real-life play. I was very confused when Poppy first showed up and talked about Team Poppy. I thought she was talking about my Tinkaton because she was currently the Pokemon I had following me. Moving on, my next character is Minnie, short for Lakshmini. Minnie is my Genshin Impact OC. Minnie is part fox and does have a lot of pride in her big fluffy tail. She's from Sumeru and is a pyro bow user. She travels back and forth between Sumeru and Liyue often and is super tsundere. I love a good tsundere character, so long as it's not their whole personality, of course. She's a little full of herself and does get quickly embarrassed when talking about anything related to romance. She is, again, like Dolly, a self-insert character created to be self-shipped, this time with Zhongli. Zhongli is basically my favorite Genshin Impact character ever. I have a little collection of him, and a little more of it, and a bit more. And maybe it's a big collection. And again, Minnie can absolutely be drawn without Zhongli and on her own, or with other people's Genshin OCs, self-ship or otherwise. The following two OCs are ones straight out of my brain. First up is my character who first really inspired me to go ahead and make this channel, Magical Kitty. Magical Kitty is the main character of a in-the-works comic of mine called Magical Woman. You can read the, what we'll call pilot chapter on Tumblr, but we'll also be reading through it next week. In next week's video, we'll be doing a deep dive on Magical Kitty, the comic, the character, and the story plan thus far. So because of that, I won't be going super deep into her right now, but we'll just briefly go over her here. Magical Kitty is a 30-something-year-old office lady who one night on the way home from work finds a stray cat that turns her into a magical girl. While she had dreamed of being a magical girl as a child, she's an adult now with responsibilities and isn't super excited about this turn in fate. I also featured on her profile her magical cat companion Gummy, which is short for Ganymede. There are many people in Artfight who prefer to draw animal characters over humans, so I wanted to feature Gummy as an option for them. I as well have some art of Magical Kitty in her office lady uniform. This is also acceptably drawn, but I don't have a full reference of it. And if you're wondering, no, I have not come up with Magical Kitty's civilian name yet. The last character that I featured is Tamamama. Tamamama is, well, you can see just from her appearance, she's me. She's this. She's the exact character that I use as my mascot, who is also me. She is the main human character in my webcomic, which I have not updated in years, called Tama and Gachi, based off my real-life cats of the same name. In the comic, human characters are never called by name, such as Mama, Sis, and the cat sitter. So I call her Tama Mama, as the cats would call her Mama in their mind, and Tama is the name of my older cat. I also have Tama and Gachi featured on her profile, again as an option for those who prefer to draw animals. And also a quick poorly edited collage of alternate outfits for Tamamama, since she does wear quite a few different outfits throughout the comic. However, they are mostly this suspender skirt type of outfit. If you'd like to see more of Tamamama and her cats, feel free to check out the comic on Webtoons, which I'll have linked in the description. If you're wondering if I'll ever continue it, maybe. I actually have 2 more comics for it that I've drawn but never posted, but I found it more difficult than expected to come up with comics that weren't the same jokes as previous comics. But we'll see. They don't take super long to draw. The harder part is writing the scripts and making them interesting, but also short enough to be just 4 or 5 panels. And those are the 4 characters, well, 7 if you count the cats, that I'm featuring in this year's Art Fight. Are you taking part in Art Fight this year? Do you want to be mutuals? Feel free to leave your username on Artfight in the comments and we can follow each other. And everyone have a happy Artfight and come back next week to learn all about Magical Kitty and my plans for the comic. Thank you so much for your time and have a wonderful day. Bye!